What's happening? I got surprises for you today. You won't believe this. We're at the air show at Hansen Dam with Air HD7 and Marcel Melanson.
Today we're looking at Air 7 HD. It's a Eurocopter 350 Airbus helicopter. It is Los Angeles's premier helicopter, the oldest, the boldest, the greatest, Air 7. It's a news helicopter providing visual imagery for your news every day. In the front, you'll see our camera system. That's a Shotover F1. It's a 6-axis gyro-stabilized gimbal system that holds the camera that we operate from the rear. This is the highest and greatest technology out there for aerial imagery. This is a Airbus AS350, also known as an A-Star. And with the amount of people in it, you get 2 or 3 people in there. That depends on how much fuel you could take. You could fly for about 2.5 hours. The camera we have right now is an Ikegami F3000 with a Fujinon 46x lens. Helinet, the company I work for, was one of the innovators of Shotover coming to North America. Shotover's made in New Zealand. They're a gimbal company that has risen above the rest and created a product that truly has changed the film industry. This is our telestrator. So if you watch the news and you see the speed tracker or the street overlays or things that are happening on top of the image, that's what this monitor displays. This is my monitor that I use to frame the shot. This monitor is what we call our confidence monitor, which has our exposure on it. And then we also have another monitor that's a recorder. So if I want to add words to the telestrator or look up an address or type an address, I use this keypad on here. And one thing, I'm always striving for innovation, meaning drones, gimbals, the next level stuff. And so I brought that same thing here to Helinet. Helinet, that's exactly what attracted me to this company, was they were always innovating. They were always going for the next best thing. And so we're always looking at how to do it different or how to evolve. You know, when you talk about gimbal systems, let's just talk about news gathering. They used to hang out of the side of the helicopter with a camera on their shoulder. I talked to the guys that were old school. They knew they were close enough to the fire when their legs started to singe. The hair on their legs started to singe. That's how they knew they were close. Wow. And now we've evolved, and I have overlays and 6-axis gimbal and a 3,000 millimeter lens once it's all doubled up. People are giving me tips on Instagram and Twitter. Wow. Hey, there's a fire over here. This is over there. Wow. That has really changed the game. Technology is another level.
That's another element.
Whole nother
element. Able to jump on that. So it's just you and the pilot?
So it's me and the pilot and a reporter usually. So it's a 3-person crew. But the one thing about that trio or that 3-man crew, it's a delicate dance. I have to listen and know what the reporter is looking at or talking about so that he can report about it. And the pilot has to put me in the position to see it and get it the right way. And the longer you work together, the longer that symbiotic nature occurs.
You have the experience of being a law enforcement pilot for so many years. Of course, you know all the law enforcement pilots in the area. So when we talk on the air-to-air frequency, you know, it works out very nicely that you can get the information from the pilot in that law enforcement helicopter about what's going on, and then we can provide that to our reporter on board, and they can more accurately report the news as opposed to being above something and having to speculate. Not to say that a civilian news pilot who's never been in law enforcement could not glean that same information from the law enforcement pilots, but immediately when they recognize your voice over the air, the communication flow is immediate when they know who you are. The whole purpose of law enforcement flying is putting the helicopter in the right spot for your partner, the tactical flight officer or tactical flight deputy, to be able to do their job and keep eyes on the suspect. If you're putting the helicopter in a position that doesn't allow your partner to do their job, then you fail.
To get the best angle.
To get the best angle and to keep that angle on the suspect for your partner. There are times when I can't see what's happening, but it's more important for me to camp the helicopter in a way that allows my partner to be able to do his or her job. And it's the exact same thing with this platform except instead of me doing it for a fellow law enforcement officer, I'm doing it for my camera operator / reporter.
You ever see a drone, like, you know, like an unmanned drone, and go, oh,
And unfortunately, this bird actually has been hit by a drone before
really?
and was grounded because of the drone. It hit the rear horizontal stabilizer. They had to replace it. But that's a new danger in this industry that we have to always look out for. The affinity with the helicopter when it comes to LA starts back early on, where the police had to get to cover the area. They had to get there fast, and so the news quickly followed. So the first news helicopter ever was here in Los Angeles. It was KTLA Channel 5, and it is always evolved, and we have 4 helicopters that are always in the air.
Wow.
4 news stations that are always in the air covering, and then you have police helicopters on top of that, so you could end up very quickly with 6, 7 helicopters all following one story. And we can go all the way up to Santa Barbara, all the way down to South Orange County, or just recently we went as far east as Blythe to cover a story. Before the Shotover, it was a company called Cineflex, and Cineflex now is transitioned to a company called GSS, but it was a different type of gimbal system, similar but just a couple different accoutrements to it.
Thank you for joining us with Morey here and Marcel with Air HD7 and Helinet. We will see you next time. We'll see you on the next ride, the next episode, the next journey. Have a great day.